Third World Cinema Club.
Hello and welcome to Third World Cinema Club. I'm John Tawasel from Present Confusion, and I'm joined with three very special guests. Of course, all of our guests are very special, pero basta, special guests. Firstly, film and theater reviewer, film person of the decade.
Self-proclaimed.
Self-proclaimed.
Okay. Kailangan sabihin parati. Oh.
Manuel Pangaroy. Yan.
Hello.
And of course, as befitting our episode for today, which is our episode on the 2020 FAMAS Awards, we have Direk Paulo Villaluna.
Hello, magandang gabi. Thank you for inviting me, guys. And I know this sounds weird, pero off the set, Paulo lang. Wag Direk Paulo. Paulo lang.
Okay. And Sari Dalena.
Hello, thank you for inviting me. Happy to be here.
So both of our guests are very, very distinguished directors.
Kinakabahan ako.
Yes, with a large body of work.
Yes.
Yeah, di ba? And yun, we're gonna be talking about the FAMAS Awards 2020. So, to be perfectly honest, nung siguro mid-2010s, parang iba pa yung FAMAS than it is in its current form. So I guess the first question to you guys is, paano nagsimula yung pagbabago or changes sa jury na nagsimula ng 2018?
Okay, narinig ko lang dun sa awards night, parang yung term ni Christian Bables is the FAMAS Renaissance since 2018. So yeah, curious ako dun kung paano nagkaroon ng restructuring or what. So yun, siguro pwede nyo kaming i-go through kung ano yung nangyari doon.
Sige, konting history lang. Ang FAMAS kasi, although we all know it's the oldest award-giving body in the country, 68 years na siya, at one of the oldest in Asia, ang usually kasi yung jury nito dati, mga movie writers or reviewers from the press media. Nung 2018, nagbago ng management at siguro part of their desire to be progressive, they decided to get, imbis na collegial movie press, they decided to have a jury system. Parang kumbaga, let's get personality, silang jury, sila mamimili ng pelikula, at gagawa rin ng jury para mag-select ng mga winners. Noong 2018 nga, laking bagay na ang napili nilang maging jury head was Ricky Lee. So 2018 and 2019 FAMAS, it was actually the foundation laying ng renaissance ng FAMAS, na si Ricky Lee, namili rin siya ng mga credible personalities from the community na walang conflict of interest during that year of competition to select films and judge it. Ngayon, to be honest, hindi ko alam bakit sila nag-change of management noong 2018. But they decided to have a jury system, and I think they picked the right person to head it, si Sir Ricky Lee. We all know, grabe yung integridad ni Sir Ricky, and he's so credible. At alam natin pag siyang namili ng mga ibang jury members, and you'll see naman the names sa jury involved in 2018, starting 2018, medyo they're respected. So yung kanilang decision making, although alam ni Manny to, ang film criticism at ang film reviewing ay very subjective. I believe na yung jury system na napili simula 2018, very broad ang spectrum at malawak yung pagkakaunawa sa pelikula, na ang pagpili ng mga pelikula ay not necessarily, sinasabi natin, these are not the best films of the year, but they are the most important films of the year. Ibig sabihin, importante siya sa panahong ito, importante siya sa panahon ng taon kung saan siya pinalabas. Yun, I hope I made sense.
Yeah, okay. So I guess the next question is for the both of you. By the way, we're now joined by Princess Kinok of Film Police Reviews and Jim Paranal of Jimmy Licolati Papa. Yan.
Hi.
Good evening, Princess. Good evening,
Hello
Jim.
po.
Yeah.
Hi, Jim. Hi, Princess. Hi.
Sorry, wait.
Traffic ba? Traffic.
Traffic ba?
Sorry.
Galing CR. Na joke lang.
Tumae. Ganun.
Sorry, galing na CR.
Hi.
Charot lang po. Charot lang.
Ito pala
Ganda
ang
naman ang mga
CWCC.
background nila.
Parang authentic yung mga background nyo. Char.
Ako hindi. Parasite House yung background ko.
Oo.
Oo nga eh.
Nahiya ako sa ilaw ko. Malamang may comments na direct sa ilaw ko. Sorry.
Low-tech nga yung computer ko. I cannot even upload the Parasite background that I will do that.
May ko product placement. Teka, takpan natin siya. May
Ano,
ads eh.
ano yun? PLDT ba yan?
Globo. Ay, sorry. Ayan.
Product
Watch
placement.
now on Upstream. Wow.
Ako kasi
Joke.
gumagawa ng commercial sa PLDT eh. Kaya,
Ay, naku po.
Wow!
Ay, may
Sinabi
pakilabas yung
agad.
PLDT natin. Ay, ko nga. Meron po ako dito.
Ilabas ang logo. Ganun.
Oo.
Marami akong
Oo,
reklamo sa
pahiram mo.
PLDT, Paolo. Sobrang
lahat
overpriced ang
tayo.
bill.
Lahat tayo. Grabe.
Okay.
Alright.
Ayan.
Um, so this next question is for the both of you. Either one of you can answer if you want. Paano kayo na-select or naging miyembro ng FAMAS jury?
Well, of course, I'm an active member of the Directors Guild of the Philippines, DGPI, which is of course headed by Paolo. And just a few months ago, when Paolo shared the news nga na parang siya yung, I think Sir Ricky was going to step down for some reason. Ewan ko,
Oh,
because he's
okay.
going to write a book, ganon.
Mhm.
So sinabi ni Paolo, hindi agad na sink in sa akin na si Paolo pala yung papalit, yung ganon. Basta parang sinabi lang niya, parang he invited us, invited me to be part of it. Pero at that time, I was just going to, being part of the selection, That was many months ago. So I was just very happy to be part of it because, I was really, only since last year, I started being part of the festival jury, Cinema One, Cinemalaya, Cinema, and then FAMAS. FAMAS was something na hindi ko in-expect, but the opportunity came. And when the opportunity came, I felt that there was a lot of freedom, di ba? Kasi maraming bagahe ang FAMAS, pag sinabi mong FAMAS,
Yes.
di ba? Pero nung dinala sa amin to ni Paolo, magaan yung pakiramdam. So, yun. But it entailed a lot of, many nights, sleepless nights of watching films, which was fun. And, So, thank you, Paolo, for inviting me. Paano daw pumili? Paano daw?
Okay, nung 20, yung sa FAMAS 2020 nga, we found out si Sir Ricky is stepping down as jury head. Other than he was writing a book, alam niyo naman si Sir Ricky, a man of integrity. At alam niya may mga pelikula siyang gagawin. So dahil may mga pelikula siyang gagawin, alam niyang conflict of interest kung siya pa rin ang jury head ng FAMAS. So he stepped down and the management of FAMAS reached out to several people na nirecommend din ni Sir Ricky. And then, yun nga, we were selected. But let me be totally candid here. Kasi kami ni Sari, bilang president at saka vice president ng DGPI, naghahanap rin kami ng extra income para sa organisasyon ng mga direktor. So I want to really say this, and we're very transparent. Lahat ng income namin from FAMAS goes directly to DGPI. As in, it was really meant for fundraising sa DGPI. So yun, we took on the challenge. I was asked to be jury head, and then I asked for some personalities. I invited some personalities, si Direk Sari Dalena, Direk Carlito Segonreina, Direk Pepe Jokno. Tama si Sari, originally we were just meant to select the films, the nominees. Ang design ko noon, may ibang jury ako for the winners. In fact, ang nasa utak ko noon was sila Candela Cruz, sila Jeffrey Gitorian, and some other filmmakers then and academics. However, nagkaroon ng pandemic, kalahati ng sponsors ng FAMAS, syempre nawala. And we decided na, alam nyo guys, nagsimula kami sa 145 films. Okay? Hindi ito chika na ay pumili lang kami ng 20 films at pinanood. It started from 145 films na trimmed down to like 60 or 40. And then lahat kami pinanood ulit yung 40 films, naging 25 until nag-deliberate na on the nomination. Medyo it was months of deliberation. Sa totoo lang, dinugo kami. And it was a difficult process. But it was fun.
Okay, sir. So, ibig sabihin, yung mga films, like yung mga Vice Ganda films, kasama siya doon sa selection, doon sa 145 or
ano po yung
ano niya, siya
ano
filtered?
po yung eligibility criteria kumbaga for a film to be considered in that list of 145 films?
Offhand, eligible siya if it was publicly screened kahit once. Basta publicly screened.
Kailangan regular run. Okay.
During that year ng 2019. It doesn't have to be a regular run. Kahit one screening lang na public. Basta public at nagbenta ng ticket, kahit let's say nag-premiere sa UP.
Yeah.
Basta may nanood na public, it's eligible for that year. So yeah, we had comedies, we had all the horror films, we had everything. And the first level, hindi kami nag-discriminate. Kasi you never know, some horror film or some comedy may magandang performance or magandang sound o baka magandang cinematography. So, yun, medyo funny and overwhelming yung nangyari.
Grabe yung time spent doon kasi noong 2019 out of all of the 2019 films I watched like 128, 130, ang dami. So I can imagine talaga iisa-isahin mo 'yon for consideration, no? Tapos you have to watch it all in just a short period.
At hindi lang yung may regular run, di ba? Kung may mga maliliit na venue na nag-screen sila, qualified din yan.
Films like say Alma Ata, yung mga ganyan, mga isa-isa lang yan
Yes.
So,
wow, I'm surprised, John, na nanood ka ng 100 plus films.
Yeah, for 2019.
Wow.
Oh, grabe.
Parang ano nga yun? Parang konti pa yun.
Oh my God.
No, I mean knowing John.
Yeah, everything na sinama ko na rin actually for doon sa 2019 count ko, everything that was streaming. So films like ano nga ba yun? 12 Days to Destiny, yung mga I Want exclusive.
Yeah, yung mga full length ng I Want.
Yeah, Spark, yan, yung mga yan. Mystified, no? Kung ano-anong films na lang Pero grabe.
For this year, di ba hinahabol mo rin yung online na screenings from KTX?
Konti na lang. 5 na lang makakumpleto ko na.
MMFF ba yun?
MMFF plus yung 5.
MMFF plus yung sa KTX.
Makakumpleto ko 2019. Wow, di ba?
Ay, question ko pala. So, yung jury, every year papalitan siya? Ganun ba yun? Or parang continuous yung naging jury sa FAMAS?
Well, actually, inside joke namin to yung Sari kasi because of this year's results, syempre hindi namin alam if we're going to be invited ulit. Hopefully we are.
I think you did a good job sa mga winners.
Yeah. Good job. Ayun. I guess since nasagot na yung ibang questions dito, could you tell us a bit about the voting process itself? Like, how many votes are needed for a nomination to win at the FAMAS Awards?
It was a very interesting process, no? Kasi parang napaka-strong ng mga choices tsaka ng preferences naming apa, si Paolo, si Carlito, si Pepe, and all that. Pero what I love about the process was we listened to each other, no? And there were some nights na pag hindi na maka-reach, we park it first. Sabi, okay, tomorrow night na lang, ganyan. So, ganun parang may bigayan, no? Kailangan huminga rin yung Pero may time talaga na kaming apat, iba-iba talaga kami ng choices. No? And it was very interesting. Tapos kailangan at same point how you try to sway each other. So ideally, kailangan talaga, yun na nga, yung sinasabi ni Paolo, plurality and ultimately unanimous yung ganun. So
Okay.
there's a lot of discussion and pag nagde-deadlock, iiwanan muna namin, hinga muna tapos balik. So yun. Maganda yung proseso kasi ano siya hindi siya yung so in terms of vote, kailangan talaga maging at least majority talaga. I think that is really the best And then pag mayroong isa talaga na hindi bumoto, na ayaw talaga yung film, we ask, why would you not choose this film to be your best pick? And we try to reason out. It's a very interesting process kasi, yun na nga, iba-iba kami ng background. I come from the academe and then si Paolo, galing siya sa advertising at the same time independent. And you have Pepe also, and then you have Carlitos. Iba-iba kami ng taste. Pero for some reason, hindi mabigat yung mga tension. And that is quite rare for me to experience.
Okay.
Actually, I'm going to sing masaya eh. Yung tension namin minsan, parang, okay guys, hindi natin masolve ngayon. Yun nga, bukas na lang. And then, there will be moments na, sige nga, panoorin ko ulit tonight. And then I'll watch it with your argument. Tapos, shit,
Yes.
tama nga siya. Tapos, when we go back on the table and, okay, sige. Siguro, in-avoid namin muna yung point system. Parang una, nag-deliberate muna kami, discussion, why did we select these people, and then why they should win. And then, nag-voting kami. After naman mag-voting, kung may majority, we ask each other, okay, do we agree? We can defend this election, hindi tayo mahihiya, not one of us. If we all agree, yes, okay yan. If one of us, kahit may majority na, if one of us hindi komportable, kasi alam nyo, pangalan namin nakasalalay eh. If one of us hindi komportable, tatanungin namin bakit. Tapos sabihin niya, kasi ganito, ganyan. Tapos kami, mag-iisip kami. Tapos, we will try to argue with that other person, and if the other person agrees, well and good. If not, there were cases na kami naman, ang majority ang na-swayed to vote otherwise. So, yun, it was very deliberative. Parang American jury system talaga na in the end, we all stick and agree with the winners na wala ni isa sa amin magsasabi, ay puta, hindi ko binoto yan eh. Ito yung choice ko eh. Ganyan. Walang magaganon sa amin and we are confident there.
I-share ko rin na interestingly before we started, after we've seen the films na, I think Paolo also mentioned na parang the number of the finalists should not be, parang 10, di abot ng 1 dozen or so. So that forced us, all of us jury members, to be sharper in our choices, no? And actually, that's hard kasi ang dami talagang magandang films. And may time na 5 lang, pero talagang kailangan mo i-put into case na kailangan kasama yan, number 6 yan. At kailangan mag-agree yung body kung bakit like may sinabi si Paolo at some point, tatanggalin to, ipapalitan. Sabi ko, no. That's intact. Pakidagdag nito. Yung ganun. And you have to really, So actually, mahirap yung kasi if you really look at the other, also one, hindi ko naman pwedeng i-discount the fact na, of course, there were other local festivals, no? Like, of course, Ada Manunuri, and that they came ahead. So, nakikita mo rin na ang dami-dami nilang choices, no? And which is very, very similar to some of their choices. And you're not surprised why. Pero ang nakita ko dito, yung gusto ni Paolo was very, konti lang talaga. And you really trim it down to a certain number. And that forces to sharpen all your choices. And it's good.
Manny, you had a question?
Yun, nasagot na ni Ma'am yung question ko. Tungkol doon sa kung may number of slots talaga for each category. Siguro yung next question ko na lang is, since walang point system, kasi ngayon merong tie, 'di ba? May dalawang category na nag-tie.
Yeah.
So paano 'yon? Paano nagkaroon ng tie? Kasi kung yung nag-research ako before this before this meeting. So parang nakita ko sa Wikipedia parang napaka-controversial nung mga tie ng mga 1970s at I think sila yung pinakaunang nagkaroon ng tie ever sa lahat ng award-giving body sa Pinas. 1973 ano daw, Vilma Santos and Boots Anson Roa. 1973. So ngayon yung question ko is ayun, paano tayo nag-come up dun sa dalawang tie, dun sa dalawang category? I think Best Actor saka Cinematography yata.
We'd like to acknowledge the presence of Engelbert Rafferty.
Yes,
Hi,
na-traffic
Engelbert.
din.
Film Police-Revista.
Ay, mali.
Ayan.
Sorry.
Siguro I can talk about the tie ng cinematography and Sari can talk about the tie ng actor. Sa cinematography, how candid can I be? But okay, ganito. It was almost really unanimous na tie. Babae at Baril is a formalist film. May mise-en-scène siya, design, the camera work is brilliant, the lighting was brilliant. Ibig sabihin, in terms of cinematography, meron siyang hindi lang camera movement, may disenyo ng ilaw. Inilawan nito, nilagyan ito. So very formalist. Ang Aswang, dahil like me and Sari, galing rin kaming documentary, alam namin kung gaano kahirap to have good lighting and good camera work when you're on the ground. Lalo na kapag gabi, lalo na kapag you're talking about something clear and present danger like EJK, ang hirap. So, yung simpleng focus mo lang during docu moments, medyo impressive na yon. And then if you look at the form of Aswang, it actually implemented narrative styles in terms of cinematography. So it was totally cinematic. Parang two different genres utilizing a very impressive form of execution in terms of lighting design and camera movement. Yung isa may available light lang, yung isa with lighting. So it was felt like it was a natural choice na, okay, hindi natin pwedeng, mukhang hindi pwedeng either or lang. Ang lakas ng Babae at Baril. Colors, even the decision sa color grading, alam mo yon, kasama yan sa ano eh. The same thing with with Aswang, na when you're on the ground, alam natin ang hirap-hirap ng camera work. And you know, some people might even accuse it of sinet up, ganyan. When in fact, hindi. Ang galing lang talaga ng pag-capture. So, it felt like a natural decision to make it a tie.
I'd like to make a comment on that. No? There are two things, no? At that point, when we were voting for cinematography, from my perspective, I was already considering Aswang for Best Picture at that point. No? It was one of the strongest films for me to get the top prize. So, for you to get that kind of outstanding level, parang hindi lang siya, it should not be outstanding in just one aspect. Kailangan merong technical na hindi lang siya sa isang category. Parang it is outstanding in many elements of the filmmaking. Kaya. So that's why when I was looking at Aswang, just like Yield, no? I remember Yield, the documentary in 2018 yata, also garnered several nominations in various categories. Ganon. So makikita mo na yung, hindi siya yung one-shot deal na maganda lang siya na documentary, pero hindi siya stand out sa technical aspects. So for me, it was very crucial to also be very particular kung bakit siya maganda, bakit siya magaling. So the cinematography, normally when you talk about cinematography, the same way that Paolo described was, of course, ang ganda nung cinematography ng Babae at Baril kasi meron siyang layers, no? Symbolic lighting, use of red, tapos it's perfectly complements the production design, you know, the red hood, which is layered with the Red Riding Hood, predatory, and all that. Lust, violence, greed, ganyan. So, and at the same time, you have this very gritty, available lighting feel na also very poetic at some point, no? Kasi pag sinabi mo documentary, non-fiction, parang hindi siya poetic, hindi siya, in a way, parang sensual, no? Meron pa rin eh. So, doon mo makikita na kahit magkaibang this is non-fiction, this is fiction, grabe yung cinematography yung binibigay nila. And women were behind those cameras. Women were lensing this. So for me, that was a big deal. Very important, no? So, ganito kumuha ang mga ang kababaihan. So in a way, meron akong personal rin, why I push for that na usually pag sinabi mong matog, yan eh, it's kinda associated with, pero this time, you kita mo, talagang meron silang meron silang gaze, and they can just convey a very a world, So that's one. The second one is I guess sinabi ko na lahat. So yun, yung importante na when you're considering a documentary for something beyond the documentary, which is cinema as cinema, good cinema, kailangan mag-reflect siya in other aspects. So, crucial sa akin yung tignan siya in every level. So, yun lang.
How about for actors po? Kasi tied din for Best Actor si Elijah Canlas for Kalel 15 and the late Christopher King for Verdict. Bakit po siya tayo?
Okay.
Sige,
Alam mo, you cannot deny I'm sorry if I have to mention this, no, pero I was surprised kasi na sa Orian, Best Supporting Actor si Christopher. Pero kapag pinanood mo yung Verdict, actually ang lakas niya.
Yeah.
As in, he was so strong. Hindi mo siya pwedeng sabihin supporting, and it was so undeniably good. Yung kanyang performance na he was so real, and he was able to balance the nakakaawa pero righteous abuser at kupal at misogynistic and reflective of how society is, pero at the same time hindi evil villain lang ang tingin mo, at yung balancing yun dinadala yan minsan ng artista hindi yan directing lang. Of course, sa edit at lahat, and sa directorial choices siya, no? Pero ang artista kasi may dinadalang ibang element sa paggawa ng role nila. And we felt like, I can't imagine any other actor pulling off that Verdict role. Nag-i-imagine ako ng ibang artista, baka masyadong OA, masyadong madrama, masyadong galit. Ito, it was really pitch perfect, to be honest. And we have to say, si Elijah sa Kalel, yung Kalel kasi, ang daming magandang elements. Alam mo, one of our main, ilang deliberation nights kami na pinart namin ang arguments with Kalel. Kasi almost across the board, if you notice, it had 9 nominations. Ano talaga, it had all the elements. And so we were thinking, what was the most crucial element of that film? Na kapag tinanggal mo, I mean, aside from directing, no, kapag tinanggal mo, tatayo ba yung pelikula? I mean, isingit ko lang yung example, My Alien Friend, which won Best Sound, kapag tinanggal mo ang elemento ng sound sa My Alien Friend, ibang pelikula na siya.
Yeah.
The sound in My Alien Friend was another crucial element in that film na kailangan crucial siya para maging buo yung pelikula. Pag tinanggal mo yung sound, okay, sige, it's interesting and unique. Pero because of the sound, it elevated it to another level. It became part of the whole design. And for Elijah, it felt like that, na he was thankfully part of the design, and he brought a not so innocent person. Mahirap balansin ang inosente at saka ang apathetic na character. Hindi siya dead malang, alam mo yan, may little nuances na hindi natin alam kung conscious na siya, no, because he's young. But I want to think, dun sa nakikita natin sa mga pelikula niya, medyo conscious na siya ng effect ng kanyang X factor or ng kanyang performance. But yeah, it felt like equal yon. Pero to be totally honest, it was really a strong point for Christopher. The only minus point for Christopher, unfortunately, was that he's no longer with us. Medyo naging posthumous. Pero yon.
Yeah, sige. Yung maganda kasi actually may similarity yung kanilang pinanggagalingan in terms of the story world, no? Parehong almost similar, parang found story, no? Kalel 15 and you have Verdict for Elijah for Kalel, and then you have Christopher King for Verdict. They really, when I was looking at their performances, parang hindi na sila nagsa-stand out in the way how they portray their characters, no? Which is vertical relationship to the character they're portraying, but also how they affect the horizontal relationship nila. Meaning, hindi nila iniiwanan and kaya nilang timplahin yung dynamics with the other actors. Kaya rin, naaakyat nila yung performances, no? Hindi ko kasi gusto yung mga magagaling na artista na iniiwanan nila yung kanilang kasama, no? Pero for some reason dito, because of the very good, yun na nga, yung horizontal relationship, like si Dali umakyat for, di ba? Parang, and si Maxine umakyat, yung mga ganon, they have this way of this relationship na it's not going to convince you na magaling siya, but also how he was really able to bring up yung galing ng ibang actors. Both of them really did a fantastic job on that, and that is something na masasabi kong pareho nilang strength, kaya they both deserved it.
Ang hope ko kay Elijah, if he's going to do a pattern of, let's say, Christopher De Leon, who started young, good, sana mamili siya ng good projects. Yun ang hope ko for him. Kasi so far, mukhang matino yung mga projects niya. So,
gusto ko yung started young, good. No comment.
I guess let's talk about one of the more, I'm not sure kung among the judges kung contested siya or hindi, pero one of the most anticipated siguro or fierce categories dito for Best Actress. For you guys, was it always Janine Gutierrez who was the front runner, or were you considering other people for the award?
Parang naalala ko, parang mas majority na tayo agad kay Janine.
Okay.
Oo. Yun ang naalala ko kasi parang it was not as difficult as kay Elijah and kay Christopher. Yeah. Parang ganun yung naalala ko.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, she was the strongest. Ako personally, I had a little affinity for Angela Cortez, Gino Tumari. I was surprised sa performance niya, and she reminded me of a young Jacqueline Jose sa Private Show. She reminded me of baka John maalala mo to. Sino artista ko sa Ilusyon?
Yung isa sa
JC Parker.
JC Parker.
JC Parker.
Thank you, Manny. JC Parker na there's a particular presence na when she's on screen, tatanggapin mo kung ano yung ginagawa niya. And I felt that with Angela. For the first time, maybe it was because of Jay Ren, who's good in handling actors. So yeah, but in the end, Janine nga was a standout talaga.
Nakikita ko si Jim tumatango kasi yung isa sa mga bet niya for Best Actress talaga.
Gawin ko na ba explicit yung yung episode ulit?
Yeah. What are your comments? Yeah, we'd like to hear your comments.
I think i-ask sa ni John, masyado na siya mabait. Kung kinuyog ba kayo ng mga fans, ganun, ng iba pang nominees.
Hindi naman siguro. Kinuyog ng fans.
Kasi yung kabilang awards, di ba kinuyog sila ng mga fans?
Sa stream yun, nag-aaway sila sa stream.
Sa stream, yun nga eh. So dito, wala naman.
Mukhang
Okay.
peaceful naman.
May mga reaction sa Twitter, pero I mean, no, and that's their right. Siguro kung may isa, may mga private na nag-message na bakit hindi man lang na-nominate si Judy Ann.
For Mindanao.
Oo, for Mindanao. Siguro gano'n.
Nag-log out na po ako. Charot. Nag-log out.
Grabe.
Nag-sign out.
Maalis na po ako sa screen. Ayan po.
Ayoko na po.
Oo. Pero I mean, no, I think yun nga ang maganda kasi sa Pilipinas kasi ang mga award-giving bodies nagiging piyesta din eh. Parang alam mo yun, nagiging
Parang beauty contest level.
Yes, oo.
Yes.
At okay lang yan kasi kapag napag-uusapan ng award-giving bodies, nagiging mas conscious sila kahit di nila alam na merong mga cultural filters sa isang sining tulad ng pelikula.
Yeah.
Alam niyo ang pelikula kasi public art yan eh. Kahit gado natin gusto sabing artist at lahat, pinapalabas mo yan eh. At pag pinalabas mo na, i-judge na yan ng tao. Kasama sa mga magja-judge ay yung mga fans at yung mga may mga sariling manok. Yun, kasama sa kailangan namin harapin na if we can confidently defend our choices. Yun, to answer that question, may isa lang humirit na ganun, but otherwise, hindi kami kinuyog.
Okay. Pero nakaka-miss yung ganun, no? Na parang, like, especially during the 90s, na, ewan ko sa inyo, guys. Pero ako kasi parang, kaya ako namulat sa FAMAS kasi andyan si Nora. Kahit na 90s na yun, pero malakas pa rin si Nora, si Vilma, tapos ito si Judy Ann, tapos si Claudine, mga ganun. So, nakaka-miss lang na, at least ngayon, kahit na, parang nawala siya slight, pero at least ngayon,
Yata
Ano yung
introduce sila ng Hall of Fame para hindi na ulit manominate si Ate V and Ate Guy. Yung, di ba meron silang Hall of Fame, parang pag naka-5, di ba din yun sa FAMAS yun? Parang pag may 5 wins ka na, hindi ka na pwedeng manominate. So, nag-a-apply pa rin ba siya ngayon? Oh.
the limit does not exist na ba?
Actually, ngayon, simula nung 2018, tinanggal ni Ricky Lee yung mga Hall of Fame.
So, balik na ulit sina Ate Guy, sina Ate V.
Yes,
Okay.
so, parang,
Just making sure.
if you notice, Hall of Famer na si Eddie Garcia,
Oh, yeah. Okay.
pero
yeah,
nanalo
tama.
siya Best Actor sa ML.
That's true.
And I think before, meron ding parang child actor yata, at child actress.
Actually, tinanggal namin
Sa FAMAS.
tinanggal namin ng Best Child Performance, tinanggal namin ng Best Story, kasi hindi
Oh, okay.
Tsaka tinanggal din ang adapted screenplay and
Which
best
is,
visual effects.
okay. Mm.
Yeah.
Kasi parang lately lang din na-introduce yung adapted screenplay, no? Tapos tinanggal siya this year. Okay.
Only because walang masyadong adaptations.
Okay. Gets naman.
Wait lang, na-curious ako kasi kanina pinag-uusapan yung controversy. So I think medyo controversial tong question na to. So syempre meron kayong shortlist ng mga films, di ba, na pinag-isipan nyo and whatnot. If you can reveal some, what are some of the films that made it to the shortlist but were never nominated?
Si Tito Boy talaga.
Susunod.
Alis na ako, teka lang.
Ano ba to? Eksklusibo.
Exclusivo.
Explicit na naman yung episode natin, kaya wala masyado nakikinig eh.
Okay, sorry na. Alis na.
Hindi, joke lang.
Hindi, game.
Tinitingnan ko yung list ko eh.
Ako rin eh.
Yung sa original list na...
May ano pala, may kodigo pala
May
kayo.
kodigo sila. Cute.
Kanya-kanya yan.
Ano naman, 100 films yan eh.
Wag kayo.
Sandali, give me 1 minute. Tinitingnan ko kung...
Ikaw na lang yan, Pao. Ano yung question mo? Na shortlist na hindi...
Na shortlist na hindi na nominate. At saka, if you can also tell pa the reason bakit hindi sila officially na nominate.
Actually, looking at my list of 22 sa selection sa finals,
Yeah.
parang siguro marami, ako, to be honest, maraming natanggal feeling ko sa cinematography.
Oh.
Si Miko David, I felt was deserving sa Erie at saka sa yung Metro Manila Film Fest film niya last year. Yung
Yung
sunod. Oo. Yung Erie, I thought was, in terms of craftsmanship, was was amazing. Yung shadows niya, yung pag-ilaw lang ng kandila. And then I found out the available light lang siya. I was like, wow. But yun nga, pag kinumpara mo na kasi, pag anim lang yung pagkukumparahan, kailangan mo talaga mag-filter. Kung ano yung, wala eh. Parang simple lang na nakatayo lang. Alam mo yun? So yun. Pero in terms of other categories, medyo unanimous kami. Ako personally, sa cinematography, feeling ko maraming hindi nakasali na deserving din.
Ako, sa list ko naman, I remember I was kind of rooting for Ulan. Yeah, pero na-outvote nila ako dun eh. But I was rooting for it, and I was actually hoping that it would also be for, graphics, visual effects and all that. Yeah, so yun. That was one.
Okay.
Kasi it's something new, and for me, it also, I love how the mythology and the storytelling itself was something, I found it remarkable. But again, the jury wanted it talagang very trimmed down. So yun. But I love that film.
And gusto ko lang rin since banggitan ni Sari yung Ulan, actually yung dalawang malaking mainstream films from last year, they're actually pretty good yung Ulan at saka yung Hello, Love, Goodbye. And ang maganda sa Hello, Love, Goodbye, I just found out it's actually the biggest Filipino film ever pala.
Yes.
Parang more than 1 billion na. And pag pinanood mo yung pelikula, it actually attempted to be socially conscious. The idea of diaspora, the idea of migrant workers, actually malalim siya. So I'm so happy na Star Cinema actually went that route. Yun lang talaga, matindi lang yung competition this year talaga. In the same way with Ulan. Ulan, apart from the gaze of the woman, it's actually about the coming of age ng isang babae and how she has to find strength na hindi reliant on love, hindi reliant sa mga love teams or love will make the woman stronger. Alam mo yon? Hindi, pinatay ang male companion. Alam mo yon? And she had to find herself. Ang ganda pa, even the metaphors of finding the young version niya dancing in the rain. Alam mo, for the masa, ano yun eh. Oy, wow. She's finding herself and it's very visual. So, malaking talon siya in terms of film education. I'll be totally honest there.
Tapos, doon sa lahat ng categories po na meron sa FAMAS, siguro papili lang kayo ng isa. Alin doon sa mga categories yung pinaka nahirapan yung buong FAMAS jury? Like, polarized ang opinions ng every single, jury member.
Directing?
Tagal namin doon, grabe. Ilang oras tayo.
Yung problema, lahat kami
yun
director.
Yun nga eh. So, I'm guessing different parang styles din, different opinions siguro kung what makes a good directing directing job. Itong susunod na question, I guess hybrid to ng ibang questions na ginawa namin. If merong konting, brouhaha, ganun, sa submission natin to the best international film sa Oscars, if it were up to you guys, what film would you send to the Oscars for this year?
Ako, Aswang. I thought Aswang would be considered.
Yeah. Actually, I agree. I would have sent Aswang as well. Kung ako lang. kung ako yung jury. Kayo, Paolo, ikaw?
I agree with Aswang and 1,000 Cuts. Yung documentary. Apart from them being good choices, meron silang laban to be shortlisted sa Oscars, and they're being written about by Sight and Sound and Variety and all this important magazines in Hollywood. So meron ng buzz, meron ng tunog. And then, as the function of cinema being a mirror to society, I think ang laking judging point yun for the Oscars na parang, wow, the Philippines sent Aswang or 1,000 Cuts as its official nominee. Tapos documentary pa, which meron ng precedent na documentary as a best foreign language film nominee. Alam mo, it would have been progressive, it would have been impressive, and hindi siya gimmick lang kasi it can stand across film festivals. Meron na rin siyang pinagkakatayuan. Katulad niyan, ang 1,000 Cuts nominated sa Gotham Awards sa US. So medyo malaking factor na yon. Ang Aswang in several film festivals. And ang crucial kasi sa Oscars, if we're talking about Oscars here, ay pipick upin siya ng local distributor in the US para magkaroon ng LA weekly, 1 week na run. Alam mo yun, to be... And we feel like 1,000 Cuts and Aswang can actually do that. I mean, in as far as Mindanao was chosen, we still hope. I mean, you know, we are not saying anything against it since it's the official... since it's the official nominee, dahil siya na yung official nominee, let's hope na alam mo yun, alam mo, at sa punot dulo niyan, kapag na-nominate naman ng Oscar sa Mindanao, lahat tayo magiging proud eh. Whether or not we don't like the film, I mean, at the end of the day, parang Miss Universe yan eh. Kahit ayaw natin yung tao, pero siya na yung official, let's give support when we can.
Nakikita ko yung mukha ni Princess eh. Talaga.
Kasi taga Mindanao po ako. So ever since lumabas yung pelikula, I've always been a very strong
The both of us,
dissenting opinion.
Yeah.
Or yeah, we're from Mindanao. So
the both of
I've
us
never
are
seen
both not
that,
very
you know,
enthused.
the symbolisms there, it was never
Parang yung thought
it never
process nila.
existed.
Parang yung thought process nila, sure.
Sige po.
Okay.
Sure, sige po.
Sige po.
Pero
Gusto ko si
excellent
Juday.
choices nga
Gusto ko si
sana.
Juday sa Mindanao.
to be
I mean,
That's why she
gusto ko
was
siya doon sa
there.
film.
Char.
Pero baka dapat,
Ito na naman, explicit na naman yun.
Issue.
Kaya nga siya kinuha.
Grabe, ah.
Kahit gaano kapangit
Mabang.
yung material. Kaya siya kinuha. Char.
Kung sa Mobile
Banda naman
Legends,
ako.
si Juday ang carry. Kini-carry niya yung pelikula.
Yes. Yes.
baka
Kay
nga
MVP.
baka nga mahirap kung Juday.
Siya yung tank. Charot.
Yes. Kasi nung, grabe, parang
Jim, ano
lahat
yun?
ng
Sila si
trolls sa
Jim.
Twitter.
May question po ako kasi may mga nagtatanong if na-consider ba sa ibang categories ang Alone Together and Isa Pa With Feelings?
Ayan ang mga ano.
Ayan
mga
na.
facts.
Pasensya na po.
List.
Controversial question.
Okay, Alone Together with Liza Soberano, di ba?
Yes.
Oh, and Hill ba?
Enrique Hill.
Enrique Hill. Yeah. It was there, but it wasn't. To be honest, hindi siya na-play sa nominations. I'm not saying it's a bad film, In terms of importance lang compared to the others.
Okay lang din naman sabihin.
Okay lang naman.
Okay lang. Kung gusto niyo sabihin, okay lang.
No, but Alone Together may attempts to be progressive,
Yes.
All the
Yung mga never
the-
forget. Yep.
may mga Marcos Hiret, may mga alam mo 'yon. So may ano naman, but there were there. Kaya lang masyadong dumaan lang. It wasn't really a layer.
I have a tender spot for that movie actually. Extra nga ako dun eh. Professor ako ni...
Yeah. Right.
Ni Liza.
Opo.
How is it like working with
I have a
Liza?
soft spot.
Crush kasi ni John si Liza.
Yeah, I can put that in my curriculum vitae actually.
Ang cute.
Alam mo, si Liza is one of the performers na ako honestly I want to work with in the future. And oh my God, baka ngayon ako kuyugin. I actually feel like Nadine. I want to be able to put Nadine in on my set and really mold her and squeeze out a really good performance from her. I think Nadine has so much. Meron pang may something untapped pa kay Nadine.
Yeah. I agree.
Ko yung squeeze out. Talagang
Squeeze out. Parang,
Yeah.
Parang lemon
juice.
lang, no? Lemon ka, girl.
Parang juice. Pero
Wala
I
talaga
agree.
She's always been this very educated na actress, no? Very siya, magaling siyang magmantansya ng set. And from what I've heard din from ads people, na parang hindi mo daw siya pwedeng i-bother pag nasa set. Parang nasa tent siya. Lalabas lang siya kapag
Parang nasa
kasi she's
zone
studying
siya.
the part.
I think,
In scene, pwede mo pa daw makachika. Pero
And
siya,
si Liza, oh my God, si Liza, that face.
Yeah.
Can you imagine working with someone like Audrey Hepburn na kahit saan mo lagay ang camera, tumatalon siya?
yeah. Kamukha niya minsan si Catherine Zeta-Jones. Parang konti na lang magagano na siya na she can be on that kind of boundary. Catherine Zeta-Jones level.
Wow.
And ayun nga, I hope they get into more, I hope they get more substantial roles. The role for Ulan, for Nadine was a big step.
Phenomenal.
Yeah, she was really, really great in that movie. Pero, alam mo, sana meron pa. Unfortunately nga, may pandemic, so walang film production. So, I guess na-limitin yung projects nila. Pati nga yung ginagawa ni Liza with, Channel 2 yung teleserye niya, hindi na natuloy, di ba?
You Make It With You.
Yes, Make It With You.
Hindi natuloy yun. Pero
How
yun
about,
Ay, sige, Rafi.
Yung isa pa with feelings, doon talaga ako na-curious.
Mukhang may Main Mendoza fan tayo.
Favorite kong pelikula yung last year.
Talaga?
We hate you, Arjo. We hate you, charot.
Okay. Tell me why you like it.
Ayan, lagot ka. Recitation to.
I mean, I want to hear then why.
Yeah. Okay.
Kasi alam nyo, we have to be honest, hindi naman kami perfect eh.
Yeah, we'd love to hear your opinion, of course.
It's built like a, standard-ish romantic film. Pero it's also an exploration of empathy and finding common languages. And although it's not the first film that dealt with with the deaf community. I mean, we have Mike Sandejas, Dinig Sana Kita for that, right? Wala lang, ang ganda lang ng pagko-portray, and it feels, kahit naman yun nga, medyo mainstreamy yung package, it feels so good to watch it. I'm actually watching it again for something I'm planning. Basta may something ako in the future. Pero yun it's just a joy watching it. And in a year na ang dami ding mga pelikula kasi last year na very very distressing, ganyan.
Heavy.
Very heavy. Yan, John Denver, di ba? Edward, stuff like that. Yeah, even Aswang, like I just watched it recently. Pero yun pero it still has a social message. Parang it explores the concept of like othering, na whether we do it consciously or not. And it contextualizes that in the sense of parang loneliness din, social loneliness. Kasi when we talked to the director and the writer of this film a while back, they were talking about something na how even in these very urbanized, very crowded, very population dense spaces, we're still lonely. Parang kunyari nakatira ka sa condo, there are like thousands of people living there. But how many of them do you know personally, right? So there's it's tapping into something like that. This film and the other films like it, it's tapping into this particular like brand of loneliness. I understand if people, if people don't like it. I mean, that's just my opinion. Pero yun, that's what I felt about Isa Pa With Feelings.
Ako naman, like for me, I can define Isa Pa With Feelings with just a single word: language.
Yeah.
It makes use of the term language very well. Kind of like when you've seen Lingua Franca, ganun din yung essence ng film eh. Like the way they move, their bodies whenever they move to and fro, their faces, the emotions that they convey, the ability to understand people, even though without having the ability to speak or utter any single word whatsoever.
Yeah.
For some reason, you understand them. You get where they're coming from. You get a picture of what they want to say. So parang naging ganon yung revolution ng pelikula. And with Prime's films in the past, medyo I find him as an iffy director before, without understanding bakit masyadong stylistic yung choices niya at times. But with Isa Pa With Feelings, hindi masyado. It was pitch perfect. Yung lighting, the way it captures yung galaw ni Maine tsaka ni Carlo, yung production design, how it captures the urbanized space, while at the same time conveying a language that we all know very well, which is how we act and how we interact with each other on a daily basis, without even having to say a single word, like two eyes looking into two eyes, or two hands holding each other together, feeling some sort of chemistry. Parang naging ganun yung feeling ng Isa Pa With Feelings.
Meron ng bagong member ng jury next year.
Rafi for Famas 2021.
No, you know what, guys? Thank you for that. Actually, very insightful yung nabanggit nyo about Isa Pa With Feelings. And maybe admittedly, it's one of those films that kind of fell between the cracks sa amin, sa dami ng pelikula. Off my head nga, I was thinking, next year kaya, what if we tap this group to do the first level of suggestion sa jury?
Okay,
Pero
what
po,
are the films in
para
the
yung
horizon?
145 divided by 20 na siya, no? Ganon.
I will watch everything. Just
Okay
tell
lang po.
me.
Our doors are open.
My doors are open. My Parasite house doors.
Pero for me po, nag-agree ako kay Miss Sari. Actually, I was waiting for all the award-giving bodies to nominate Ulan. Kasi, although, maganda si John Denver Trending, talagang nakakakilabot si John Denver Trending. And Edward even, kasi syempre yun yung mga kind of melodramas na very rare na itap. And especially si Kalel, kasi si Kalel kind of like brought me to 400 Blows feels na parang, oh my God, this is cinema. Parang ganun yung ano.
Yeah.
This is cinema!
Oh my God, this is cinema.
Bagong member.
Kinumpare kay Truffaut.
Oh my
Oh,
God!
Truffaut talaga.
Seryoso. Yun. So, sabi ko, wow, okay, this is cinema. Pero, pinaka talagang nag-trigger sa akin na, okay, this is why I love the movies was Ulan, especially because of that rain scene. Kasi nga, siguro, okay, flash forward to 12 months later, wala na ako nararamdamang masasamang mga bagay-bagay, ganyan, na, personal. And when I saw it again, I was like, okay, it's a really, 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 really good film. Simply because, pinag-isipan siya from the start to finish. So, it's the same with Isa Pa With Feelings. Kasi syempre, kailangan lang mamili ng isa. Hirap mag-tie lagi eh. So, I guess yun. Si Ulan was probably what I was expecting. Although, maganda rin si Babae at Baril. And I do agree na cohesive din yung pagkakagawa niyan. So, meron lang akong konting problem with Babae at Baril. Na cliffhanger siya kasi I was expecting na she was gonna do something very terrific at the end. Na, with the gun. Na parang, okay, yun na yun. Parang, it was building, although, alam mo yun, parang sa akin, life cycle nung gun yun, na parang it's, some kind of symbolism towards violence. Pero kasi, basta, it's not as impactful as I have expected it to be. Call me dramatic, pero baka,
I think it plays the incest into the thesis of the film eh. Kasi Babae at Baril is a rebuke of yung macho, violent, like this culture that we have. And for Janine Gutierrez's character to take vengeance is to play into that system. Kaya niya tinakot Which is,
even yung journey mismo, ano na siya, parang maganda na siyang panoorin.
Yeah.
Habang
Na-realize na
may
siya.
hawak siyang may baril. May hawak siyang baril, parang alam natin na sobrang powerful siya. Tapos, ayun, parang for me, yung journey itself sa Babae at Baril it's good. It's good on itself.
Mm-mm.
yun. Pero yun,
And ano I just have to say, sa Babae at Baril, yun, what I think was the most subversive point of that film actually was that ending.
Mm.
Oh, it was so subversive because as a society we are trained nga
Mm-mm.
to react this way, and
Mm-mm.
I understand the feeling na anticlimactic siya, no? Na parang
Oo.
yun na yun. Pero that was what I felt was subversive.
yeah.
Mm.
As human beings, especially sa panahon na to we have to make
Mm-mm.
choices na ganon na yun na yun. Pero they're the right choices.
Yes.
Ang problema kasi ngayon, especially in our society ngayon, doing the right thing is a choice
Mm-mm.
when it should not be. It should be
That's
an
right.
automatic reflex. Alam mo
Default
yun,
dapat.
Mm-mm.
parang, I see a gun, puta pa, tatapon ko yan. Dapat ganun.
Mm-mm.
Hindi tayo, may moral dilemma pa. Ano bang tama o mali?
Oo
Yung
nga.
police na bumaril dun sa ano ba yung backstory nun?
Oh,
I
di
mean,
ba?
hello, fuck the backstory.
No.
Yeah.
Parang may binaril, guys. May binaril, may pinatay.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter kung anong ginawa. I mean, so our moral compass in this day and age is so fucked up. And that's why I thought, kaya kasama sa nanalo si Janine dito, it's the subversion of that part.
Mm-mm.
Kasi she could have overplayed that part.
Mm-mm.
She could have
Yeah.
dramatic.
Yeah.
Parang, it was like, alam mo, it was,
Naliw ako doon.
But I agree with her winning all the performances kaso ang hirap nga kasi lahat sila parang they were able to to portray their parts really really well, and
Yeah.
yun,
Mm.
I do agree with the choice with with her winning the Oriana, now winning Famas din. And I also love I think si Direk Paulo yung nagsabi kanina nung sa colors ng Babae at Baril.
I see
And
this
the
as-
music especially. Yung colors
Yung asin
and
eh, bagay
music.
yung asin na.
Yeah, very good choice.
Yun.
So yun.
Ako, I love
Ganda ng scoring.
I love the conclusion and the ending of Babae at Baril. It was, if you were thinking of something much more, it's bigger ending and all that. And it's not, and tsaka yung pagtapon niya doon, parang it's not a feminine gesture. It's not because babae siya and that's how she's going to end it. For me, it's it's about integrity, human integrity.
Mm.
No. Anyway, and everybody should end that kind of, should treat an object of violence that way. So it's not because she's a woman that she will do. It's a more universal ending, I guess.
Yeah.
That's why I like it.
Naalala ko tuloy yung sinabi ni Richard Bolisay about the film. Kasi I remember nung Q Cinema episode like 2 years.
Yung pinag-usapan natin.
1 year ago. Parang nga siya, na against kasi ako dun sa film. And then pinarealize nga sa akin na no, it's about yung history ng Pilipinas or history ng bansa natin, na it's rooted in violence, it's rooted in misogyny, and the way it was portrayed, it's meant to be subversive, it's meant to downplay your expectations, para ma-realize mo na hindi, dapat ganito yung ginawa niya, pero hindi like, yeah.
We've been conditioned by our culture for many decades na if we have a gun, you have to fire it. Pero you don't really have to act upon that. Parang yun we're really steeped in this. Gantihan talaga tayo minsan sa society, and we need to get rid of that mentality. It's very hard, but I hope it can be done in the future. Pero anyway,
Tsaka maganda rin yung choice na na when she dumped the gun, hindi siya sa merely in another garbage can na lagi natin nakikita where
Yeah,
she picks it up. It's maganda yung unpack yung choice na sa water. Water is soft, water is something
Parang cleansing purifying.
Cleansing, yeah. So that's actually a very good ending kasi marami ng layers. That's what I love about Babae at Baril. Marami siyang layers nga eh. Colors, the jacket, the design, the lighting, and all that. So, tsaka yung structure niya, dalawang history of the gun, history of the girl, iba-iba gumagamit. So, it's actually...
May isang cut ng Babae at Baril na napanood ako, and I think it was the pre-edited version of Babae at Baril. Ang ending niya lang is, di ba, nabaril na si Felix Rocco. After nun, nag-walk out lang siya.
Tapos na. Okay.
I remember that. Tapos na siya. I still have it with me on Vimeo.
Hindi pa na-shoot yung extra may tubig.
Baka hindi pa tapos.
Hindi pa tapos.
Pero ang ironic lang pala kasi nung Saturday was Kiss of Mata, Sunday nanalo si Babae at Baril. And then the killings.
Yeah, it's weird. Kaya nga you suddenly wake up to Kiss of Mata and Aswang and suddenly they're all based in real life. And it's sad and it's ewan ko. So to be honest, hindi ako nakatulog kagabi dahil sa barila na yan eh.
Same.
Parang ayoko mabuhay sa lipunan na tanggap yung ganong ugali. At nangyayari siya. Parang ang sakit-sakit talaga.
Nakakainis kasi ang reason daw is crime of passion. Like pinagtatanggol pa talaga. Pinagtatanggol pa na yun. Nakakainis.
Very frustrating.
So yun yung bad trip eh.
Disturbing yung young daughter, no? How she could walk away.
Yeah.
No, she did not even flinch when it all took place, and all of that to be witnessed by children around the it's just so heartbreaking. And so how do we protect the daughter now? Diba? Usually people will now bully her, pero how do we actually save her? Because she's also another life that we need to preserve.
Right.
May isang part ng video na kanina ko lang napanood was the other angle. That's why na-trigger yung dad daw. But I know it's not really not a reason. Na parang yung young girl, sinabunutan niya yung sister.
Yeah.
Kaya parang how? Why? How did that happen? Diba? Parang bakit ganun? Bakit may mga batang ganun lumaki?
Pero mabuti na lang that girl who captured everything, no? She was brave enough to post it, and she even went to the radio, DZMM, to narrate everything that took place. She was just all out, no? And we have to commend somebody like her for doing that for us.
At sana maprotektahan din siya.
Yeah,
yung
exactly.
Safety niya.
Yeah.
In a way, parang like filmmakers din they're trying to project truths onto the world. That's what she's doing as well. Pero in a real life setting.
I hope sorry, I'm so affected by that video talaga.
Yeah.
I hope the bravery ni Alisa, the one who captured the video, kung more than kalahati ng filmmakers natin ganun ka-brave, it might be a different world ngayon.
We have to protect her because she's public, and police can easily look for her.
Correct.
Yeah.
Siyempre, reading lang of that video clip, parang lahat tayo kasabwat dun sa video na yun, no? Iba sa atin, tayo yung camera. Iba sa atin, tayo yung may hawak ng barel na makapangyarihan at abusive of power. Iba sa atin, yung biktima. Iba sa atin, onlookers lang. Iba sa atin, yung batang babae na entitled din, na enabler of the violent father. And I don't know, It's such a deep-rooted problem talaga of the country na nagsimula noong 2016 talaga. It was magnified.
Parang lahat tayo napabuntong hininga.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, hirap talaga. Yeah. After I saw that video this morning, I went to my dalawa kong anak, my 2 boys, and I just hugged them, you know. What can I do? What can I do to protect them? Tayo.
And yeah, let's hopefully the future we can use this, you know, kasi galit tayong lahat eh. We're all angry. Hopefully when we can channel this anger into the right ano. Hindi lang yung rant sa social media. Let's do something about it hopefully. Do
Kailangan
something
magpa-register.
constructive.
Yan.
Register
Sa
to
mga
vote.
nakikinig, no?
You
Kailangan
know, do what
maka-register talaga.
Do what you can, participate in the process. Hold people accountable. Yun. That's all we want naman talaga. And I guess segue ulit sa FAMA. Segue sa FAMAS.
Connect naman yung ano eh, babayad pa rin sa kabayan.
Oo, connect naman. Any final thoughts on FAMAS, the festival, your experience?
Ako na. Okay. The pandemic changed a lot in something maybe for the better, no? Although it's really the worst possible time for everyone, not just filmmakers, but for everyone talaga. But in the realm of the film community, merong mga development na maganda. Like sa Cinemalaya, for example, a few months ago, it put the short films in the forefront, di ba? Pag sinabi mo kasing competition, is talagang feature length. Pero nag-jury din kasi ako sa Cinemalaya and I was just very happy na parang naging highlight nila yung short films. Diba? Parang siya yung naging bida. Kasi normally like documentaries, laging nasa sideline lang ang short film. Short film pa lang, docu ka lang. So here naman with FAMAS, it happened, no? Na usually a documentary nasa sideline. Pero it became, we had 2 there, no? Like yung may alien friend. Sobrang ganda ng pakiramdam ko na dismantle natin yung mga ganyang pagkakahon sa cinema. And that parang naging mas malaya siya, no? Ito yung weird eh, nakakulong tayo dito sa pandemya pero meron tayong mga na-breakthrough. And napakaganda nung nangyari na yon. And I hope na it will also, sa akin okay lang, I was reading the comments, no, nung nanalo na yung aswang and all that. People are talking about it. And that's what we want. People to talk about what's happening. And sino talaga yung aswang? Ano yung mga aswang? Hindi natin nakikita and all the violence. People are more aware. Although, FAMAS, it was, as a jury member, I'm very honored to be part of this edition. No? Ang dami maganda talagang films. No? I'm just so happy na with Sir Ricky in 2018 started making that steps to revamp this, and you know, kami ni Paolo, finally nandito kami on the receiving end. We were able to continue that kind of vision, no? Sana tuloy-tuloy na to kahit na kami pa next year o hindi, sana tuloy-tuloy na talagang gumanda lalo. Ibalik talaga sa industry ang pelikulang Filipino. And yes. So thank you very much for this opportunity.
Originally, I was meaning to end this with the role of the artist in society. Although nag-iba yung thoughts ko listening to everyone now. Very briefly, alam naman natin ang role ng manggagawa ng sining sa lipunan na mag-reflect nga sa society, yung the silver mirror. But in the lensing of FAMAS, of an award-giving body, at ihahambing ko sa inyo bilang film critics, kasama namin kayo sa paghubog ng kultura. Importante kasi ang film criticism at saka ang award-giving bodies. Kasi hindi lang sila nagre-recognize ng what is excellent. More than that, actually, they talk about the important films of a particular era. Okay, you guys and all other aspiring film critics out there, although syempre may kanya-kanyang politika yan, kanya-kanyang mga filmmakers na naiinis din sa mga critics, yung iba nagkikritik-kritikan. I mean, that's okay. It's part of the whole landscape. Pero ang magandang resulta natin dito, it becomes a time capsule of an era. 15 years from now, someone will look back in 2020, ano yung mga pelikulang importante at na-recognize that year. At pag nakita nila na itong mga pelikulang ito ay nagiging salamin nga ng lipunan, let's say from Aswang, Babae at Baril, John Denver Trending, Kalil 15, Verdict, parang historians can look at that vacuum of the era. It happened during that time where EJK was rampant, where rights were being trampled. Parang, look at it this way. Imagine nung second golden age ng Philippine cinema, kung wala tayong urian at hindi na properly nabigyan ng historical context sa mga pelikula like Itim, Himala, Jaguar, Kainatabel, Moral, Karnal. I mean, iba ang tingin natin sa pelikula. Imagine niyo kung nung 70s at 80s, ang pinag-uusapan lang ay puro Dolphy, Mang Kepweng, or alam mo yon, baka ibang tingin natin sa role ng sining sa lipunan eh. Kaya actually, I mean, this sounds weird and artsy, pero very crucial yung role ng film critics at ng award-giving bodies in nation building. They dictate future generations of kids interested in filmmaking para meron silang sense of history. I mean, like kami ni Sari, galing kami sa independent alternative scene, Mowel Fund, very steep kami sa kila Ben Cervantes, kila Nick de Ocampo. And alam mo yun, nakatungtong kami sa mga higante. At we're looking at the perspective nila. Hindi kami, we are not reinventing the wheel here. We are continuing a tradition, and film critics are doing the same thing. So, dahil film criticism podcast to, and if there are aspiring filmmakers and film critics, understand na ang blessing ninyo o yung talent ninyo to read a film or to analyze a film ay parang baril din. Kapangyarihan siya. So, use it responsibly at use it in a good way.
Yeah. All right. Thank you. Thank you very much, Paolo, for that, for those closing remarks. and thank you so much. Thank you so much to both of you for joining us today. Also, thank you, Manny, our film person of the decade, for
Yes.
joining us.
Pampagulo lang naman ako dito. Pero nabutan ko yung mga pelikula at lipunan days with Sir Pao.
I was such a kid.
Saka yung Klaus Kinski na live nyo na dinadub sa Glorieta dati. I was there. Nanonood ako nun.
I know, Manny. Alam mo, it's so weird that you remember that.
Paborito ko yun. Imagine live yung dinadub yung pelikula kasi walang subtitles. Grabe kayo ni Sir Nick.
Wow.
Ando sila sa likuran. Merong parang flashlight yata. Binabasa nila yung script or masaya.
My gosh, pelikula at lipunan. You go a long way back, ha, Pao?
And so, until next time, you're all very welcome to join us again.
Join us back.
Dami namin natutunan.
Dami kami natutunan. Kung gusto lang yung mga chikahan, ganyan. How's the weather?
Download ninyo ang pelikula journal, ha?
Yes.
Tsaka mag-contribute kayo sa next editions.
Ay, sige, okay.
Okay?
Hindi mo lang nagpakipot si John. Game agad.
Oo.
Okay lang, basta. Enjoy naman magsulat eh. meron akong ginagawa ngayon na video essays.
Okay.
May channel ako, John Tawasil yan. Hanapin nyo na lang.
Parang yan na yung ano, no, yan na yung future ng dati vlogging and all. Parang,
Well, ginagawa ko pa rin yung vlog ko. I mean, ba-vlog pa rin ako. Pero parang side project lang. Na-enjoy ko naman. Tapos with, so
sanay
yun,
ka na sa camera. Ano ka na, at home ka na.
nagsasalita nga lang ako eh.
Okay.
So far yung lumabas na doon na kasi 2 seasons na. So yung second season may 2 na lumabas. One is about yung visual language ng Tayo sa Huling Buwan ng Taon. And the other one is about may inanalyze akong scene from Distance, if you remember that film, 2018, si Percy Intalan.
Yeah.
Isa Calzado. Okay.
Sa Calzado. Yan. So panoorin nyo if you have the time,
Saan
please,
ka sa YouTube?
sa YouTube, John
Yes,
Tawasil,
I'll
hanapin
send
nyo
po
lang.
the link.
Hey, Sir Paolo.
Please like and
Mag-jury
subscribe.
ba kayo sa ano? Jury rin ba kayo
Yes.
sa MMFF?
Ayun.
Yes.
Nabanggit na.
Yes. So, I'm watching the films and hopefully the first deliberation is good. How do I say this? Kasi mahirap yung deliberation kasi hindi naman kayo lahat from the film community. So tingnan natin and although I'll be honest, when I was asked, I had to weigh it really weird and then yun nga, at the end of the day, kung yung boses natin is on the table to express ourselves, baka it's a better option kaysa wala.
Right.
And then yun, bahala na. Hopefully which films do you recommend? I mean, I've seen 4 na.
Suarez the Healing Priest. De, joke lang.
Fangirl.
Joke lang.
Girl talaga.
Naramdaman ko yan. Paula, naramdaman ko yun.
Doon ako sa may pinakamahabang running time. Yung Pack Boys.
Takusa.
Alam
My
nyo ba,
God.
may article yung Cosmopolitan. Paki-delete na lang dyan kung ayaw mo masama.
Edit out ko na. Mapaban
Edit out
talaga
mo.
tayo sa
Oo. Lagi kasi explicit pag nagsasalita ko. Ano ba yun? So, sa Cosmo, may quiz sila, which MMF film, keme. So, syempre, bilang ako to, I was expecting Fangirl, ganyan. Nagulat ako sa Pack Boys Takusa.
What MMFF film are you? The quiz.
Oo, what
Pack
MMF
Boys
film
ka.
are you? O, kasi I'm a very family-oriented person daw.
At least hindi ka Suarez the Healing Priest.
Paano
Hindi,
naging family-oriented
Grabe
yun? I
kayo.
will never
Mapaban na
know.
talaga ako.
Parang doon ako sa coming home. The phallic symbol.
Jinggoy.
Dahil ba doon sa poster?
Oo, yung phallic symbol. Di ko kinaya.
Pero looking at these MMFF films, some of these films were part of the Summer MMFF. Yung Coming Home was Summer
okay.
MMFF.
Tagpuan.
Tagpuan was Summer MMFF. So, alam mo yan. Pero not all
Let's see.
Yung kay Prime na si Janine Gutierrez, parang nawala eh.
Mm-mm.
Ano yun? Parang
Kailan
rom-com.
kaya?
Kailan kaya yata? Or,
Yes, kailan kaya?
Tanong ba yun? Yun yung title.
Yung title.
Title and actual question kasi hindi pa lumalabas. Kailan kaya lalabas?
Nako. Sir Paolo, kayo rin ba yung magja-judge ng festival float? Sorry.
Oh my God! Oh my God!
May virtual float ka.
Via Zoom.
May Zoom.
Naka-costume sila sa
Nasa
bahay.
bodega lang yung
Oo.
Nasa
Actually,
bodega.
total pinag-uusapan na rin, I'll be honest, ang worry ko sa totoo lang, what if I do not agree with the results? Ano yung, kasi iba-ibang boses to at hindi naman lahat may tamang reading ng pelikula. So, yun ang hindi ko alam paano ako magre-react. I will cross that bridge. Bahala na.
Ay, ilika ka po namin sa MMFF episode.
Sama po kayo. Team Suarez, the Healing Priest.
Sina-champion talaga.
Champion. Sina-champion kong bigla. Kahit di ko pa napapanood. Joke lang. Anyway, yun lang. Thank you guys. And sobrang enjoy. And
Salamat po sa pag-accept. Sorry, super random.
sobrang random. Bigla tayo pumunta sa ano.
Lalo si Ma'am Sari kagabi ko. Parang nagdi-dinner
Oo
pa ata siya.
Oo nga, sorry guys. Pero yun.
Finally, na-meet ko rin kayo.
Correct.
Nice meeting you all. Yan.
Nice meeting you all too.
Si Ma'am Sari katabi ko sa Untrue eh. Nanood kaming Untrue.
Talaga?
Untrue. Opo.
Na-starstruck ka.
Oh my
Oo.
God.
Kala niya
Those
ata
were-
estudyante niya ako. Pinakya ko naman.
Ay, nako. Sana makabalik tayo sa loob ng sinihan, ano?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, shit.
Siguro kung naka-move on na tayo sa face shield.
Kasi nasa face shield pa rin tayo.
sa face ng face shield.
Pero
Kakaloka.
I would not be surprised pag umabot tayo ng 2022. Hindi ako magugulat.
Di ba, may kickback naman, di ba?
Kickback.
Back.
Kickback.
Ang ganda.
Ganda ng word na yun. Kickback.
Oo
Witty.
nga.
Witty yung mga Pinay.
Ang problema, 2022, wala na tayong pera.
Oo nga eh.
Ay.
Wala nang budget
patalsikin
eh.
na. Patalsikin.
Baka naman, ganun.
Ayun.
Sino kaya yung patatalsikin?
Yung laway. Yung laway sa
Issue!
mukha ko. Masisense tayo. Charot.
Well, at least yung magandang confirmation, the film community, hindi manhid. Hindi tayo manhid.
Yeah.
Never.
Yeah,
Mm.
true.
We never forget.
Yeah.
Wow. Liza Soberano.
Liza Soberano. Liza.
Kaloka.
Third World Cinema Club.